So now that Splatoon 3 has been out for a bit and I've had some time to test some stuff, I've finally decided on a first build to use. So for this video I'm simply going to go over my build for the Octobrush, get some insight as to what I'm using and why, and explain some other builds I may end up using. This video is likely just to be a quick one, as it's just sort of a jumping off point for those looking for a general build themselves. In the future I may make an ability guide like I did for Splatoon 2, but anyways, let's just jump right into it. Let's start with the main abilities I've chosen. I've gone with Swim Speed Up, Ninja Squid, and Drop Roller. Swim Speed is pretty easy enough to explain. Mobility is a huge part of playing this game, and in general, it's doubly so for melee and close range weapons like the Octobrush. When closing the gap is risky and people can always just back away from you, having enough speed to continue the chase is important. It's also worth noting as I continue that the Octobrush and Inkbrush are both considered gear independent. Some weapons require certain abilities to be used absolutely, while brushes don't absolutely need anything. This means builds can be very vast and allow for players to express themselves and how they play based on what they choose to run. That being said, of course, there's still some abilities that are solid choices, so if you're wondering if a build is good, chances are as long as you aren't using Run Speed Up, it's fine if it works fine for you. Now with Ninja Squid, you might have seen a lot of it already. There's some been talk about it being better in Splatoon 3, but looking around, I actually don't think this is the case. The speed at which you swim is reduced by 20% in both games. What may be causing the confusion is the wording used on sites like Inkopedia, which may lead people to believe that it negates up to 20% of swim speed worn. I believe this is an error and not the case at all. Anyway, why the Ninja Squid? Well, it's actually to counteract a lot of weapons that have appeared. Splatoon 2 was an era of not having to deal with chargers and blasters, since both classes kind of suffered in the second game. Now both finally get to exist again, and those two classes are ones we want to avoid like the plague. That and Slosh Machine, which has seen a massive spike in playtime. These weapons are what we want to avoid being spotted at any means possible. And finally for the mains we have Drop Roller. Simply put, Drop Roller saves you from being camped when returning to your Zipcaster. I've already been asked multiple times if Drop Roller even works on it, and it does. Much like how Drop Roller was very useful for Inkjet, it is still very much useful for Zipcaster and makes it less likely to die upon returning. Now let's get into the sub-abilities I have, and I don't really have to explain the swim speed, it's pretty obvious with the reason being the same as to why I have the main ability. Firstly, why the 2 subs of special power. Upon doing some testing, 2 subs of special power increases the duration of the Zipcaster by half a second. A decent little jump for very little investment. On the screen I'll show some other numbers I have in case you're curious. This will also be covered in my upcoming Zipcaster video. The single sub of Quick Super Jump reduces the time to jump by roughly 30 frames, or about half a second as well, so another one that has a good return for a little investment. And the 2 subs of Inksaber Sub are so I can get another full flick after throwing a suction bomb. So that's pretty much it for my build. But what about the things I'd change? Depending on how the meta plays out, as nothing is still really solid, the Ninja Squid may be replaced with another main of swim speed, or more likely a main of special power. The reason for that is that the main will provide a full second onto the Zipcaster as opposed to the half a second that the 2 subs would. Swim speed is the other option because of course it is. If I swapped the Ninja Squid for special power, then the 2 subs on the hat would likely go, and in its place would go more swim speed. I have been asked about Intensify Action, which right now I don't think is very useful on Brush. The improved Squid Surge is nice, but the only real bonus it gives, reducing RNG while in the air, doesn't actually really apply to us, so I can say right now it's not really that worth using. This build will likely greatly evolve over time. The point of this video was to provide some insight into my gear and help provide a better baseline for Octobrush players to use and see as what a higher ranked brush is using. In the future I may make a more detailed ability guide, but for the time being this will be it. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.